It's actually more accurate, cortisol, not every hormone, cortisol is more accurate in saliva than it is in blood. And it gives us the ability to send you home with a kit and say, take 4 specimens over from morning till night, and let's plot your cortisol. Because now we know if you're in this kind of situation, oh, there's really effective cortisol lowering therapies that we can give you right before bed. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to calm down, and you're going to go back to sleep. And oh, by the way, there's cortisol raising therapies that we can also give you first thing in the morning that are going to help you feel like you didn't get run over by a truck. But measuring the stress response is so important because it underlies, as we know, not just thyroid problems, but almost all chronic degenerative diseases. And then maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but women are definitely more, the incidence or prevalence of thyroid disorders is more common in women. And stress, which we're all under, steals our hormones. This is my second and probably last doctrinally slide. You don't really need to understand all of this except for what I'm going to tell you. Cholesterol is where all hormones are made. So cholesterol is not a bad thing. Too much cholesterol over too much time, that's a topic for another day, could be a bad thing. But cholesterol is where all your hormones are made. Here's cortisol. So in order to make cortisol, you have to have cholesterol, and then it goes to pregnenolone and progesterone. So under stress, you're burning through progesterone in order to make cortisol. And you're also preferring this pathway at the expense of testosterone and estrogen. So under chronic stress, guess what we see? Low estrogen, low progesterone, low testosterone. And when you have those deficiencies, you're not going to sleep well, you're going to be more prone to mood dysregulation, sleep dysregulation, weight gain, feelings of unwellness, right? But the answer isn't just, let's just give you hormones. I mean, it could be part of the solution, even temporarily, but when we find low sex hormones, what do? We could replace them, or what should we ask? Why do you have low sex hormones? Could it be stress that's stealing your sex hormones? Because now we're not just dealing with low sex hormones and replacing them. Now we're asking the question, why? And if the answer is stress, now we understand where we can go to work. Plenty of time we find low sex hormones when we go to work on the stress response because we're measuring stress and we confirm that really seems like the right way to go. And then we remeasure without ever replacing sex hormones, and we remeasure them in 3 months, and guess what happens? We've only dealt with stress, meaning diet, exercise, stress management, supplements, etc. And we remeasure the sex hormones, guess what? They come up. So again, it's just an important understanding of the relationship between stress and your other hormones, and then your gut. So it's very important. It's for those of you that are reading, like Amy Myers and Susan Malone and Isabella Wentz and those kind of thyroid thought leaders, all you're going to hear is gut, 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 and really everything else that I'm touting here too. But when it comes to your gut, some of you have probably heard of leaky gut. Who's heard of leaky gut? Okay, probably at least half of you. Raise your hand. This is important because a leaky gut is like a leaky pipe. Okay, your gut is like a pipe. When it gets leaky, it's because it's gotten damage, and then things leak through. What causes the damage? Guess what? Stress, cortisol, toxins, food sensitivities, drugs like antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, acid reducers, medical steroids, hidden infections, and just general organ malfunction. But what all these irritants do is they start irritating the barrier of the gut, causing leaks. When your gut is leaking, all of these things that shouldn't come through your gut barrier come through. Your blood and your immune system, your circulatory system and your immune system are right on the other side of your gut barrier. And now all of a sudden, your immune system is mounting an immune response because it's seeing things it doesn't normally see. That's called autoimmunity. So this is where food and stress and inflammation and hidden infections, all these things impact your gut. The immune system is right there, right outside of it, and now it's just being still overstimulated because of the dysfunction there. Now you have an autoimmune disease. Now those autoimmune particles or proteins, those peptides, guess what they do? They travel to your thyroid, they bind, and they destroy the tissue. And then guess what? Now you have hypothyroidism. You see how we have to peel this back like an onion almost to get to the true underlying cause? And by doing so, we really help people not only reverse their symptoms and improve and feel better, but really gain long-term control over the disease process instead of just take your Synthroid and call it a day. And Synthroid works for some people, but certainly doesn't work for everyone. And a lot of these things probably explain it. Meaning no one's dealt with the inflammation, no one's dealt with the stress, no one's dealt with the hidden infections, the toxicity, the diet, etc. So in our practice, we do a lot of looking at the gut and the microbiome of the gut because we're looking for hidden infections. So we don't mess around. We do DNA testing of your poop, basically. It's like CSI for your poop. But the old way was take a stool sample, send it to the lab, and they'd culture any pathogens. And that was okay. But now with science and technology, we can send a stool sample to the lab, and now they can do a DNA analysis and see all of what's happening inside your microbiome, which we know impacts autoimmune disease without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm gearing up to show you that we have these missing pieces: stress, and exercise, and hormone balance, and digestion, and detoxification, the importance of food and nutrition, and I covered a little bit of social wellness. So these are the pieces that we find missing for the patients struggling with their health and arriving at our office to talk about what their solutions could look like. And so what we do is we begin to put all of these pillars of health back together. And where we see people failing is where they have 2 pillars, 4 pillars, 5 pillars, 3 pillars, what have you. When they're inevitably not having results because they don't have all 6 pillars working together, situated for them the right way at the same time. So someone come in and their diet, they look really good already. I mean, it's not common, but it happens where someone walks in and they're like, their diet is dialed in, and maybe even their exercise is dialed in, but they're still arriving at the office needing help because no one's looked at their hormones, no one's looked at their gut microbiome, no one's sort of, looked at their nutritional status or measured some of these things, measured inflammation, measured sex hormones. So we find that 94% of people who are failing in an endeavor is because, 1, they don't have a system, and 2, they don't have someone to mentor them. We're going to talk about mentoring in a second, a little bit more. So I wanted to show you what's possible when you start doing some of the things we're talking about doing, putting all these missing pieces together for a patient. I'm going to show you a little clip from Marie. Marie had Hashimoto's. Marie sat in your seat also at one point. That's how she became a patient. And Marie's a nurse. She's been a nurse for 30 years. And her health had gotten to the point where now she couldn't do things that she loved doing, one of which was dancing. She's a fitness instructor. And part of her fitness love is dance classes. She also does training with Louis Van Astel from Dancing with the Stars. He does some conferences and trainings she had to put all that on hold for 2 years because she had gained too much weight and she was in too much pain to do the dancing. And so she decided to come to one of these dinners and hear what I had to say.
First of all, I lost over 36 pounds and it just came off. It wasn't dieting. I didn't diet. I didn't count calories. I just ate healthy food. And we did adjust some of my diet, and we have me on the glycemic diet. But, so first thing was that I lost the weight. And then I started to feel less joint pain and less muscle fatigue. And I was not getting that very tired feeling at 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon where I felt like I just had to lay down and go to sleep. So I had more energy to carry me through the day. And
what she needed was someone to mentor her through the process, right? Not just give her a plan, not just do fancy tests and say, here's what you need to do. That's not always easy, but probably the easier part. but what we needed to do is show her what to do. And I like to make sure that we understand it's not your fault. Everyone, the most successful person, maybe, that I can think of, that came from nowhere and rose to the highest pinnacle of what we might know. We could use Oprah Winfrey as an example of that, right? I mean, coming from nothing and look what she's built for her life and her empire. And even she needed a coach. Even she needed someone to rely on, to help her see her blind spots that happened to be Maya Angelou, famous poet laureate. So athletes need coaches, executives need coaches, entertainers, singers, actors, they all need coaches to get them to their pinnacle, to their best version of their craft. We're no different, right? It's hard to see our own blind spots. I have coaches too. I have coaches for my health, I have coaches for my business, I have all sorts of coaches. I believe in being the best requires continuing to strive and to have outside forces helping me see what I can't see so that I can be better. We find this applies for patients as well. So what we do in our practice is we devise wellness curriculums for our patients. So everyone's is different because everyone is different. Everyone has different issues. Even if you all have the same disease, like the label, Hashimoto's, or hypothyroidism, we've got to uncover what the causes are. So your cause might be different than your cause, than your cause, than your cause. So everyone's treatment is different. And we've got to tailor the roadmap back to health based on the cause and educating you on how you're going to get there. Right? You've got to put those pieces into place. There's a lot of missing pieces about how to do what we want you to do. And say, look, cortisol is a big issue for you. You need to manage your stress better. See you in 2 months. Right? But again, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we educate you and show you and involve you and make sure every time we talk to you, we talk to our patients ideally every 2 weeks in some form or fashion. And we want to check in on all those 6 pillars. What's happening? What's not happening? Why is it not happening? Not because we're going to shame you and drill sergeant you into, feeling bad about yourself, because we have to figure out how we're going to get you effectively managing your stress, one way or the other. We're not therapists, but we're going to talk about what's holding you back. Why can't we do 5 minutes of controlled diaphragmatic breathing every day? What's going on for you? We have 7 minutes, we don't have a lot of time for that stuff. We don't have 7 minutes. So these are our wellness curriculums that we put together. Again, the Chinese had a great way of saying it. Tell me, I might remember. Show me, I will remember. Involve me, I'll finally understand. So this is what we're striving for. I said it earlier, a lot of you are YouTubing, Facebooking, Instagramming, right? Maybe some of you have bought some of the online educational programs from some of the gurus. There's nothing wrong with that. We love engaged, educated patients. We love it. When someone arrives with Hashimoto's and they put in front of us in their first appointment one of the gurus' books, like Susan Blum or Isabel Wentz, those two, or Amy Myers, right? These are thyroid experts. We love it. Except that book was not created for you. It was created for the masses. So it's got a lot of good general information in there. But it's not going to tell me whether your microbiome is at the cause of your Hashimoto's. And yours is stress and yours is toxicity. Our book will tell us that. But it will give us a good foundation. Now we can really get to work. We can have really good conversations. We can test hypotheses. We can really be very, very engaged with each other. But can you read a book and fly a plane? Can you go on YouTube and try to learn how to fly a plane? Would you get on a plane with someone who said, I learned how to pilot this plane on YouTube? Right? So it's not your fault. We want you to actually become the co-pilot, because we'll be the mentor and the trainer, but we don't want to just give you everything and then you be reliant on us. So our whole process is teaching you along the way, so that after 6 months or 12 months or whatever it might be, we can say, great, here, you've got your wings. Like, you know how to fly the plane now. Now you just need me for like emergencies, like I'll be in the tower, basically. Call me if you need me. That's the analogy I want you to have. So can you really achieve wellness? Can you really live a long life with a healthy body? Yes. You can, if you order the right tests and address the causes and focus on the cause and certainly not get distracted too much just by the symptoms and correct the dysfunction, not just alter the test with the laboratory results with drugs. And make sure you remember that the body is a whole connected unit, right? You go to your endocrinologist, all they care about is this little butterfly gland that's 2 inches by 2 inches. But your gut's impacted, your sex hormones are impacted, your general whole body inflammation is impacted, your toxic load is impacted. So you gotta just remember to use common sense that your body's a connected unit and use a wholly systematic structure. We like to say it's a very step-by-step approach. It doesn't make sense to overwhelm you. When my whole strategy is to help you be successful with implementation, so we really make it step by step by step, following a systematic type of approach. Everything is personalized to you, but it's still structured with a lot of mentoring. This young, spry woman over here is Marie, the nurse with Hashimoto's. And she randomly sent this to Rebecca, who's here tonight, our health coach. And I loved it because it speaks 1,000 words. Hey, Rebecca, I'm attaching my picture from my glamping weekend in South Carolina. The reasons I'm sending it to y'all: A, 6 months ago, I could not have squatted in this position without the joint and muscle pain. And B, I wouldn't have had the strength to pull back that slingshot that far back. Yay, it's a win. So she's socializing, she's active, she's out with her friends, she's glamping. She feels good. She's able to participate and do the things she wants and loves to do. She has the strength. The pain is gone. The weight is gone. This is like what makes me feel like we have delivered. It's not just, oh, I've given her herbs instead of drugs. I've given her, kava kava or chamomile instead of, Xanax or Ambien. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is clearing the deck of our patients' health problems so they can get back to living their life again. That's why we and our whole team, that's why we get out of bed in the morning. So, you understand that this is in your reach, hopefully. It's up to you to make a decision, and this sounds like something you want to pursue and learn more about whether this could be a viable solution for you. If you understand, it's not your fault. You really haven't been given the education that you deserve to have about if you're not well, why you're not well, and how we're going to get you well, what does the process look like, and how are we going to make sure we get you there. This may be the only person that we feel like we might not be able to help. This is the person that is, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Right? It's the person that's just not ready. And I say it's important for me to tell you this because if you're ready, willing, and able, I feel very confident that we're going to be able to have success. Now, we need to understand your case and all of that. But the only people that I don't think it's worth our time and your time to come in and sit down is if you're just simply not ready yet. And it's okay, because we have people who come back a year from now. They came to a dinner, and then a year later they call us and say, I'm ready. Okay, we're not in charge of when you make the decision or if you make the decision, but we can't do it for you. I can't go to the gym for you, right? I can't go to the grocery store and buy your food for you. I can't eat the food for you. I can't meditate for you. I can't swallow your supplements for you. We can't do it for you, but we can do it with you, and we can show you what you need to be doing, with tough love, really more love than tough. We make sure you have the seeds and the tools and the resources and the understanding and the coaching to implement everything we want you to be doing to regain your health back again. This is from Stephen Covey. Most of you may have heard of Stephen Covey. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Effective people tend to be proactive. They decide to have a better job. They decide to have better health, rather than waiting for life's curveballs thrown at them. So proactive versus reactive. And actions of all forms, including inactions, have consequences. I'm going to show you a split screen here of about a 60-second video of what action and inaction in terms of the chronic degenerative disease for the average American looks like. And you get to decide.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide.
Who wants to be on this side? Who wants to be on that side? You know what the statistics tell us? 70% of Americans wind up on the chronic degenerative disease side. After age 65, 70% of Americans wind up requiring long-term nursing care because of chronic degenerative disease. The pharmaceutical industry does not create health, they manage your disease. I'm sorry, the insurance industry. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't create cures, they want to create customers. They don't want to cure your disease, they want to manage your disease. Because that means they can give you a drug forever instead of giving you once and curing, right? So you have these forces against you, but you have the power to create your own health. So, for those of you that want to understand what it could look like to come in and talk with our team, I'm going to explain that just quickly here. So we try to, again, make it super simple. The only thing you need to worry about is step one. The first step is to come in and meet with our clinical director. You should have a bio for Dr. McElvenna. She is the person that guides all of our patients through their wellness curriculum. So the purpose for you sitting down with her is for her to learn your health history, have a conversation about what's happening, what the impact that's having on your life, what goals you have for your health, and to figure out if this is going to be the right fit for you and for us, so that we can feel good about saying we can have success. And then she literally will talk to you about what your wellness program would look like. Where are you? Point A. Where do we want you to be together? We'll make that determination at point B. How are we going to get you there? What's it going to require? What lab tests are we going to do? How much time do we need? What kind of a supplement, budget do we need? All of these things that we know are going to be baked into the cake so that when it comes out, nice and delicious and perfect and everyone's happy with it, are going to be discussed with you. And so that's the purpose of her appointment. Not for nothing, because she's going to carve out an hour for those appointments with y'all. A lot of times, even before she has had the chance to order lab work and review and everything, just from your health history and your discussion, she's already able to point out things that no doctor has ever been able to point out, just because she's had the luxury of time. In not 7 minutes, what are your symptoms, what script am I needing to give you today? So there's a lot of good things that come just from that appointment. But that appointment is to decide, hey, this is what could be possible, this is what it's going to take, this is even down to the penny, what does the investment look like for my particular program? Because your program may be different than your program. If you had a problem for 1 year and you've had it for 20, we're going to need to have different type of programs related to each patient.
Hello, Dr. Tracy McElvenna here. I've set aside a full hour to meet with you. So to use that hour as productively as possible, I encourage you to prepare ahead of time. If you can send in your patient paperwork, all the labs that you had in the last year, as well as a list of all the supplements, medications, and their dosages. If you can send that, I'll review it ahead of time, and I'm going to look at everything from the perspective of a detective. I want to look and determine what the missing pieces are of your health puzzle. I'll have a lot of questions for you, probably questions that you haven't been asked before, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about why you have the symptoms that you have, and that there are effective natural solutions. I just can't wait to meet with you and to go over all of your goals, because your goals are about to be my goals. So we are looking forward to seeing you very soon.
So that's what she'll do. I already explained, she'll sit down and customize whatever wellness curriculum that will be required based on your case. Everything is, again, sort of, we kind of have like a no surprise policy. We don't want you to be surprised anywhere down the road. So we're going to talk about everything that's going to go into your curriculum program right then and there, so that you know. So that 3 months down the road, when we say, well, we need to repeat this test, it's not another cost. Oh, well, we want you to add this one supplement. It's not, okay, how much is that? We've kind of agreed, and we've been doing this for enough time, that we know what kind of budget we need to create, what kind of a program we need to create. And we've discussed all of that very transparently with you right then and right there. Okay, so that's sort of what to expect. Now, do we do this for free?
Yes.
Robert was very eager. Would that be fair if we took an hour of our time and didn't get any compensation for it? Would that be fair?
No.
Would Robert like it?
Yes.
Yes, I would probably like it, but when we give things away for free too, we know that people don't value them as much too. So, let me explain how we do this. So we call it a wellness evaluation. We consult, we evaluate, we give you a plan. This is typically $395, but because we have spent an hour with you talking about why we do what we did, why insurance is not going to save you, why and how we go underneath the cause of the problem, all these things that require, that we enjoy educating you on, and we feel like if we can get them out of the way, like we're doing now, and you've shown initiative when you could have been a lot of other places on a Tuesday night, right? But we kind of promised you a warm meal, so that helps to get you here. But we know that many of you are here because you're wanting to know if we could possibly be of help to you. So we lower the barrier, not all the way to zero, but we lower it to $87. If you get on the schedule tonight, my team has our schedule. So if you get on the schedule tonight, it's $87. What they've done is they looked over the next couple weeks, they've blocked out appointment times and reserved them for these discounted slots, knowing we have 25 or so people headed here tonight. Now, if your spouse or family member wants to come and they want their own appointment, meaning they want to also decide or maybe learn if they want to have their own curriculum, wellness curriculum, they can come too, and they can do it for $47 if we schedule them back to back, just because that helps our efficiency, office efficiency. Now, if you're married, you guys are married, right? I'll just use you as an example. If Leonardo is coming to support Solange, if he's just coming as a good husband or support person, then he doesn't pay me. But if he's excited by what he's heard tonight, even though he came here because Solange really dragged him here, then he can come. But if he wants an appointment for himself, then we can do it together back to back. We have a couple requests because there is a method to our madness. One is, as I mentioned, sometimes husbands, spouses, family members get excited. Either they're here or someone goes home and tells them, you've got to come, right? So the request is bring your spouse or your significant other. Are you guys married? Okay. Good. Sometimes I get into trouble, but not too often. So, Cedric may have also said, all right, honey, I'll come with you tonight. But if Ebony went home, right, and tried to explain everything that I said to Cedric tonight, it would have been difficult. Like, also, statistics say, like, she probably would have been able to transfer about 7% of what I said, right? So, not only is it great, and I don't even know, sometimes the husband is dragging the wife, and it happens, right? But more typically, the wife's here, and she's kind of dragging the wife.
She's a teacher, we'll give her a
But we want your spouse or family member or loved one here tonight, and if they're not here tonight, to come to your appointment, because it's so important for them to hear why, number one, you're not a crazy person, meaning why you go to doctor, and no one knows what's wrong with you, or why all your labs are so normal. When we can sit there and and unpack the conversation and show them and then be part of the conversation of why this is happening for your loved one. And also for them to be a second set of eyes and ears and ask good questions. And also we respect, especially if you're married, most people make decisions together. So we want them to be a part of the process. They don't have to do it, but they should understand. When we know that when you have support and understanding at home, your journey as a patient is going to go faster and smoother and easier. So there's a real reason for those requests to have your family member or spouse with you. 2 other simple requests. Be on time. Why would I say be on time? Why would I bother taking time to say be on time? Because we're not the average doctor's office where we make you wait for 90 minutes in the waiting room and then 30 minutes after the medical assistant drags you back. Like, if your appointment's at 1, we're ready for you at 1 because Robert's coming for his free consult at 2, and I'm kidding, but Andrea's coming at 3, and so that's how we operate. We're ready for you. So don't come late because you're going to end up shortchanging yourself. And 3, just your paperwork, your new patient type paperwork, health history, just complete that before your appointment. We don't want you showing up and then trying to scribble and taking 10, 15 minutes of your appointment time to scramble your forms together. So do your paperwork ahead of time, be on time, bring your most important person. Those are our simple requests.
We okay.
Well, that's an easy question. We're right in downtown Alpharetta, right off of exit 10, basically. So who do we work with? These are sort of our last questions before we get your food out here. But I already mentioned, if you're ready, willing, and able, then that's essentially the qualifications that we have. So our team will ask you things to help ensure when you meet with Dr. McElvanna. It's not an automatic that she's going to accept your case. She's going to ask you questions to make sure you're going to be an active participant in the process. Because if you're being dragged here by a family member, that's not going to work. You have to go home and do the work. So as long as you're ready, willing, able, you don't have to be perfect, you have to be coachable and mentorable. What if you live far away? We have patients from out of state, out of Atlanta for sure, out of state. We have a few patients out of the country. So we're pretty well versed in handling things at a distance. We love seeing our local patients. We prefer it. But if you happen to live far away, we still can have success because a lot of what we do can be done on the phone or video conferencing. A lot of our education is online and provided in an easy on-demand type format. Do we take insurance?
No, of course not. But
You know
some
what-
insurance do take.
Not in Georgia.
I'm sure it does, but nobody wants to participate in that.
No, well, I haven't heard of any in Georgia. If we picked ourselves up and just dropped ourselves in California, then yes. Oregon, yes. Connecticut, yes. In Georgia, for 22 years, I can tell you right now, it's not that we don't take your insurance. It's your insurance doesn't take us. Right? So-
I'm calling, there's any participated doctors in Georgia, they say no. Maybe it's because my company is based in New Jersey.
Once in a very, very blue moon, like once a decade, we might have someone whose employer is European.
Well, that's it.
And because they're more progressive, they actually cover a lot of wellness-based services because headquarters is in Europe and that's how they think
Well,
in
that's,
Europe.
I have what is in Europe.
Okay. So for most of y'all in here, it's not a question of do we take your insurance. It's your insurance really doesn't cover what we do. Because they cover sick care and we don't do sick care. We do wellness. So is it affordable? Should be the next logical question you might ask. And I can say this. I'm going to have you hear from one of our patients, but we have single parents, we have retired folks, we have people on fixed incomes. We have very average, everyday people who come into the office, and the common denominator for all of them is they really understand what we do, they want what we do, and they value their health. And so we have ways to work with your budgets, almost any monthly. We have payment options to fit with almost any monthly budget. If you have a couple $100 that you can invest in your health, then what I'm talking about here tonight becomes totally within your reach. Okay, so we have payment plans, we have cash painful discounts, we have installment options, we have different ways for you to manage the investment. When someone really wants to do this, it's very rare that we can't figure out how to do it. my question to you is, what's your budget for your car? What's your budget for your home? What's your budget for saving for retirement or for your next vacation? I bet most of you can give me a number, like an actual specific number. If I ask you, what's your budget for your body, for your health, for a healthy retirement, a healthy, enjoyable vacation, make sure your body's cooperating when you get there. Most of you are going to go, well, I got to go home and look or crunch some numbers. I got to get a pen or paper. You don't know what that is. So we want you to go home and think about that. How much do you value your health? Because those are the patients that we find. You don't have to have millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just have to have the desire, and it really boils down to a few $100s a month to devote and invest in your health, in yourself and in your health. I like to say the tribe has spoken. I used to be a Survivor, the TV show Survivor, watcher. So, I don't know how long ago. But we have what we call our Thrive Tribe. That's our patients. We call them our Thrive Tribe. And if you go to Facebook, and if you go to Google, and if you go to YouTube, you can see all about what all of our patients are saying. So I stand here proudly behind what we do, telling you that if you go and look at the social proof of what we have to offer you, you'll be, I think, satisfied with what you hear. But no one can say it better than our patients.
The results that I've gotten from this, it has totally changed my life. And I think if anybody is having second thoughts, they do need to come meet with you, for real. It really has changed my life. And I lost weight, wasn't trying to lose weight. That wasn't even my purpose. I didn't care about losing weight. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel energetic and, feel like I could go out and do things. Yeah, definitely. If you're having any second thoughts, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, do it. Take the step. It's worth everything that I've done to get here. Because it is just me, but it was worth every penny. And the fact that I'm not fighting-minded, I'm happy, I feel good about myself, I feel good about my friends and going out, and my whole life, work, everything has changed everything. And people noticed. People really noticed. You can't keep saying life-changing, like there should be another word. I can't think of another word to use because it is life-changing.
So, I'm going to conclude. I'm going to bring out the team. They're going to basically pass out a form. If you would like to appoint you, all you need to do is take your pen, fill out the form, and they're going to come around with a schedule for you and your most important person. If you're truly single, that's totally fine. You just come
You
yourself.
don't have to.
You're married?
Yeah.
Then you want him to come.
Well, it's scheduled.
What are your hours?
I'm not gonna address these questions, these office questions, because my team will. Yeah, so talk to the girls about your case. Let's talk. Okay. So, hold on, let me just finish. Everyone's coming around. What I'm going to do, I'm going to step outside for medical questions, private medical questions that you may have that you don't want to address in front of the whole group. All of the practical questions, schedule, time, cost, money, insurance, whatever that's like a logistical question, Dina and Susan and Rebecca can answer all of those questions, and they'll stay here as long as they have to answer all those questions. I'm going to be out there, and I'll be available to y'all to handle any medical questions. With that said, your food is actually arriving. Wish you the best. I look forward to I expect to see most of you in the office, but I will respect your decision. You have the power now. I did my job, now it's your job to make a decision on the trajectory that you want your health and your life to take. Have a great night, and Drive safe, and I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.